The Chris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for MrBeast's brand. However, it may also provide some unique benefits. So let's begin by going over the drama before explaining exactly how this will impact the MrBeast channel. In mid-2022, fans began to notice that Chris Tyson was changing. In the early days, he represented the quintessential southern gun and truck loving dude, yet beginning in March 2022, Chris began to display increasingly feminine traits, making tweets such as "I finally got my nails done at a nail tech." Additionally,
I guess it is. Is that technically feminine? Because dudes be getting their nails done. I know somebody that be getting their nails done, but he not really. He don't rock that way. If that makes sense, he's straight. I don't do that. Obviously, I don't want to. That's just not me.
Chris would highlight that his facial appearance had changed significantly since the start of the pandemic, which accompanied another post reading, "Okay, so in 4 different customs, I had to prove I was myself because I, quote, look nothing like my passport pic, so much that I'm considering updating my passport. Do you see any resemblance?" Prompting replies such as, "You went from man."
Alright, let's just keep it straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with getting your nails done, obviously. Yeah, anybody get their nails done, you know what I'm saying? Let's just take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You get your nails done, like painted and stuff like that, man, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's not me personally. That's just, you know what I'm saying? You do you.
Into boy. Chris responded by stating, "Nah, to be honest, I just really started taking my mental health seriously and eating better." Yet his Twitter photos kept insinuating that Chris was becoming...
Okay, now this is something else, okay? Now you can do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But this is like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
More feminine, with this same kind of look showing up in his MrBeast appearances. For example, on the 6th of January 2023, Beast Reacts uploaded a video titled "I strapped a GoPro to a fish," in which Chris dressed in a way that prompted comments such as, "Chris has been adopting more and more traits that remind me of my grandmother." Okay, so some people just gonna ignore Chris's nails? Chris had to have lost a bet. The look is getting wild. The response to the video then prompted countless viral TikToks, such as this one with 700,000 likes, stating, "How did Chris go from this to this?" While others even made the claim that Carl had turned him gay. Now, this was pretty ridiculous as...
Isn't Carl, I forgot which one it is, where I think it's asexual, where you're not attracted to nobody. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like females, he doesn't like men, he doesn't like nobody. I think that's it. I get it confused, it's asexual or... It's not, I think it's asexual, right?
As Carl isn't even that feminine, and Chris had come out as bisexual years before he and Carl had even met. The true catalyst for Chris Tyson's feminization instead seemed to have come from his marriage. In January 2022, Chris would post a photo with his wife to his Instagram, yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether. Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating perfectly with the very first post in which he'd painted his nails. Chris confirmed the split in a post from March 2023.
Now, I don't be watching MrBeast live. We watch a couple of his videos whenever, good one. There are good ones, but like whenever we want to catch our eyes. But I will say it's tough because obviously, you know what I'm saying, dude had a wife, a kid. I just dang, this is gonna be so controversial, bro. I'm thinking about it. Now, damn. How do I say this without trying to get my joint canceled? Now, obviously, I don't know if Chris, like, you know what I'm saying, what's it called? Like, actually, like, he didn't change his pronouns from what I heard. He didn't change his pronouns. You know what? I'm not going to say. You know what? I'm going to say whatever. I'm not canceled. Now, as I'm aware, Chris is not changing pronouns, so he goes by he/him. From what I'm aware, as of right now, you know what I'm saying? So I want I'm not even gonna do.
Reading. For a little over a year now, me and Katie have been separated, with this also confirming that Chris's transformation began as soon as his marriage came to an end. Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails. As the criticism continued to pile...
That's crazy. Now Listen, now he's becoming a wife.
Chris announced that he'd be taking a break from social media. And while there was a possibility that Chris would make efforts to return to his former self, he'd rather...
Okay, I never seen that. Now, bro, what's wrong with the man buns? There's nothing wrong with the man buns, honestly. But, now, this is a question. Now, it probably doesn't change the fact, but I dropped the shit. Leave that alone. Now, obviously, if you're the kid, obviously, you know, you're still going to love both of your parents no matter what, right? Just how it is. But I just want to know, how would the kid look at Chris? If that makes sense. I just want to know. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I mean, no disrespect whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But it might be awkward for the kid. It might be. It might be. Top G's already free.
Rather do the opposite and double down on his feminine image, showing up to the Kids' Choice Awards looking like this before making the announcement that he'd been doing HRT for approximately 2 months, which...
What's HRT?
According to a quick Google search, is the medical process for changing gender.
Oh, okay.
Chris would expand on this by stating, informed consent HRT saved my and many others' lives. The hurdles GNC people have to jump through to get life-saving, gender-affirming healthcare in a first world country is wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies, which received a positive response from both Carl and MrBeast, who wrote, "Got you, I did one more heart than Carl because I'm a better friend." While his co-workers expressed positivity, others weren't so welcoming. There goes a father figure the kid won't ever be able to look up to. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Weak man time.
This, I've seen this. Oh. I mean, is he 100% telling the truth? Probably not, you know what I'm saying? That hard times create strong men. I mean, hard times create the strong people. The strong men create good times. The good times create weak men. I don't know this part. But you gotta think, like, that kid is, you know, sort of in a little awkward situation. Maybe.
Chris responded to this comment by stating, "This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids. Tucker begs for me to come back when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is so loved and happy. Kids aren't born with hate, it's taught by people like you, and my child will only know love.
Then you gotta worry about it. You good. Be chilling.
I know I'm going to be a great parent."
I just thought it would be. I thought the kid would maybe think it was awkward, but obviously not. So, and that's amazing. That's amazing. That's all. That's one thing you want from your kids, to love you no matter what. You know. Because you show them just love and affection. That's just it.
And so is every other person who puts the love of their child before everything. I made this decision because I wanted to show up as my best and happiest self for him. In a way, this was for Tucker. Chris's response received some positivity such as, "I'm convinced you're an amazing father. Tucker is lucky to have you and also lucky to have all of those who surround and support you in his life. As well as I adore that, I'm glad you made that decision. It's so much easier to be a parental figure when you're not struggling with dysphoria, yet he'd also receive an equal amount of backlash. You ripped apart your family and took a father figure away from your son just so you could paint your nails and act zesty. Pathetic. It will get torn
Twitter,
apart at school. Won't want to have friends around his house. A life full of difference and being alone. Must have missed the point in that tweet. How's this for him when you're depriving him of a father figure?" Although Chris wasn't altered by these comments, as he'd once again reiterate his certainty in a new post reading, "It's never too late to start being yourself," which received praise from MrBeast as well as Nolan and Carl. However, these comments also added extra fuel to the fire. In a few years, look back at this thread and remember they were never your friends. Only yes men cowards. Hope you come out of this safe. MrBeast responded to this with a simple opinion irrelevant ratio, to which the original commenter would state, "I have 30 followers, so go ahead and ratio me. I'll still rest easy knowing that I'm not a coward who idly sits by watching my friend ruin his own life." In some ways, it was nice to see the boys standing up for Chris on Twitter. However, the situation has already begun to change the dynamic within the videos. For example,
52,000 dislikes. It's high on shorts. I already said RCF is 633. 633.
Well, in a recent live stream titled Opening a
And the East
Thousand
is
Mystery
632
Art
right now.
Boxes, Chris would once again dress in quite a feminine way, and while everybody participated as usual, the
I didn't
energy
even know he
and vibe
streamed
didn't
this.
feel nearly as smooth as it normally does. It felt as though there was an unaddressed elephant in the room, and therefore everybody was in their head, as opposed to being in the present moment enjoying each other's company. Maybe everybody was simply too busy.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was Chris. Oh, jump.
Packages, but Chris did make these bizarre jokes about Jimmy being female, making him incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh my God, Jimmy, look, they drew you. Jimmy, they drew you so well. It looks just like you.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, it's Jimmy.
How did fan art? This is what we were looking for. Be brave, be honest, be...
Maybe it's awkward for them because they're not used to live streaming. Maybe that's just it. You know, maybe that is kind of a stretch to say that they're awkward because of Chris. You know what I'm saying? Because what he's going through. I think that's a little bit of a
Kind,
stretch.
Mr. That is my tagline.
Becoming even weirder when each member started to pay each other compliments.
Hey, nice shirt. Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Hey, nice shirt.
Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Thanks. Nice shirt.
Nice shoes.
For the most part, the live stream was devoid of awkward moments. However, it would act as
I think that's kind of a
fodder
stretch.
for another 100 million views.
Damn, yo, these people racking up views. But it's TikTok, so they ain't getting nothing from it.
Worth of drama
I just joined watching y'all. Yeah, bro. Hey, they do streams like once every 3 months. Which hey.
and criticism.
See, that's the thing. If they do a stream once every 3 months, they're gonna be a little awkward. Obviously, I get it. That's kind of a stretch, you know.
Chris likely believes that people will slowly adapt to his new appearance over time, but is this really going to happen? Well, maybe. It's difficult to say as the situation is fairly unique, especially when considering Chris's reputation and
That's a big
influence.
TV
However,
chat.
if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first place? Perhaps the opposite will happen, and he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with the current MrBeast audience. This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him.
Dang, that's kind of a, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that a little? I mean, I know he means his best way, but he could have used a different word for that, right? You know what? He just used that, bro. You know, I don't do.
Although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that
Movies and shows just make gay characters for the sake of it. No character development, no good story. So much shit today that just pushes an agenda and forgets that people watch stuff for entertainment.
adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video. On top of this, it can be uncomfortable and unrelatable for the silent majority, although as we have seen, a situation like Chris's does have the potential to create an otherworldly amount of discussion, which could be seen as a benefit for the MrBeast brand.
Drama is good for growth, 100%. That would be an easy way to up my
So
views
you're
if
a
I got it.
Keemstar?
The problem is this type of situation is probably the
You're not wrong. You can't say anything without being canceled.
last thing that MrBeast wants to attract, as he's forced to agree with Chris's position, as he has no way of manipulating the situation without being painted as the bad guy. It's a lose-lose situation for MrBeast. I think Jimmy is in an inescapable situation. If he kicks out Chris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real.
Oh, Chris bet on. What do I know? What do I know? Dang, that is true though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how much. Obviously, from the tweets and everything from MrBeast, what he's saying, who's dirtier, Draymond or Zaza? Can I say both? Anyway, but I will say Jimmy is kind of in a tough situation. Obviously, we're saying, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's saying he has no problem with Chris in this transition, what he's doing. You know, just is what it is. But we don't know what's going on through his head. You know, obviously, if he says he means it, he means it. So it just is what it is, bro. But if he were to, like, you know what I'm saying? That is tough. This is tough. By the way, this person spelled channel wrong, so this is irrelevant.
An inescapable situation is a pretty good way of describing the drama, which is also why it deserves the harsh label of being a nightmare. Jimmy has no option but to publicly express acceptance of Chris's transition, as silence or even worse, disapproval.
Maybe that's just because he's his friend. You know what I'm saying? He ride or die. You know what I'm saying?
Would come with obvious severe repercussions. However, in accepting Chris's transition, Jimmy implies that this will be the new normal within the content, thus annoying a different group of people, many of whom will never express their true feelings and may rather simply click on fewer MrBeast videos. If this is the case, Jimmy has no option but to accept this fate, as removing Chris from the videos in any kind of way could create an even more severe media firestorm. The only clean solution, should things go south, might be for Chris to resign himself, and even then rumors and bad press will be unavoidable. Whether it be arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact.
Y'all think MrBeast can get canceled? Like some people are like uncancelable. You just can't cancel them. Honestly. Like some people you just can't cancel them. Can you to be honest, I don't think you can cancel MrBeast. I don't think you can, to be honest. I don't think you can. He's one of those people like, I mean, I understand you at the top and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying? MrBeast is so like, ooh. I don't know. I don't think he can. That's just me.
Jimmy,
I don't think
forgetting that he achieved his current level of success by avoiding this exact type of drama.
Yeah, that's a good video, Sunny. It's a good video. I just don't think he get canceled for real, to be honest. Like, if we keep it a bang.
I just upgraded my status. I put on Dior cause I just love fashion. Let's make the play for the